Jeremy Paxman, the legendary British broadcaster and journalist, has long been a model of the Spartan mindset, using his piercing questions and intellectual rigor to confront those in power. His ability to disarm politicians, corporate leaders, and even celebrities with a calm but ruthless precision made him one of the most formidable interviewers in the history of British media. Throughout his career, Paxman employed a style that mirrored the discipline, resilience, and fearlessness of the ancient Spartan warriors. He embodied the qualities of the Spartan mindset, showing that the pursuit of truth often requires persistence, strength, and the ability to confront uncomfortable realities head-on. One of the most iconic moments of Paxman's career came in his famous 1997 interview with Michael Howard, then Home Secretary. Howard was forced to answer a simple yet cutting question. Did you threaten to overrule him? Paxman asked the question not once, not twice, but 14 times in a row, each time with increasing intensity. As Howard's answers grew weaker and more evasive, Paxman maintained his cool and relentless approach, refusing to let him off the hook. This level of intensity and focus exemplifies the Spartan mindset, a relentless pursuit of the truth, regardless of how much pressure is applied or how much resistance is encountered. Paxman, much like a Spartan warrior on the battlefield, never lost his focus or composure, no matter how uncomfortable the exchange became. The way Paxman repeatedly asked Howard the same question illustrates not just his probing technique, but his refusal to accept weak and insipid responses, something that often characterizes politicians' avoidance of direct answers. In the Spartan mindset, we refer to these evasive tactics as softening statements, the kind of vague rhetoric that political leaders use to parry difficult questions. Paxman had an uncanny ability to slice through these statements, refusing to let the interviewee hide behind them. He showed that the Spartan warrior doesn't settle for anything less than the truth, and even in the high-pressure environment of a national television interview, Paxman's approach remained sharp and clear-headed. This level of intensity and focus was not limited to his interview with Howard. Paxman's interactions with other public figures, such as the notorious George Galloway, were equally cutting. The two men famously clashed during a Newsnight interview in 2005, when Paxman relentlessly questioned Galloway over his political views and statements. Paxman's calm and incisive questioning exposed Galloway's contradictions, showing that even the most vocal and charismatic figures cannot escape Paxman's scrutiny. In the same vein, Paxman also demolished Russell Brand's more populist political rhetoric during an interview in 2013, making Brand's arguments appear superficial and naive. Brand, who once sought to be the voice of political change, quickly disappeared from the political discourse, relegating his future attempts at political commentary to the confines of YouTube. Paxman's devastating and incisive questioning had not only silenced Brand, but exposed the intellectual fragility of his ideas, much as a Spartan warrior would use his opponent's overconfidence against them in battle. Paxman's interviews were not just about political strategy, they were about intellectual combat. He displayed the type of focus and intellectual rigor that every Spartan warrior must possess. Whether dealing with seasoned politicians or celebrities, Paxman's focus never wavered. He remained relentless in his pursuit of truth, never allowing those in power to escape their responsibility. He didn't just ask the hard questions. He meticulously dismantled the evasions and half-truths that politicians and leaders tried to hide behind. What made Paxman's style so compelling was the way it resonated with the public. Viewers, often from the comfort of their armchairs, cheered him on as he skewered the politicians and public figures they despised. Paxman became a hero to many who felt that their leaders were using empty rhetoric and vague promises to avoid facing the real issues. Paxman, however, refused to let them get away with it, delivering his questions with the precision and clarity of a seasoned Spartan warrior. His interviews became a spectacle in which the public took great satisfaction in seeing the powerful brought down a notch. Whether it was through his incisive questioning or his sheer determination, Paxman embodied the role of a modern-day intellectual gladiator, fighting for the truth on behalf of the public. Paxman's Spartan-like qualities were evident not just in his approach to interviews, but in his commitment to his craft. He showed that being a true journalist, especially one of his caliber, requires more than just an interest in current events. It requires discipline, a willingness to challenge authority, and the resilience to endure backlash from those who are determined to hide the truth. Paxman's career, much like the journey of a Spartan warrior, was built on these principles. He wasn't swayed by the pressure to conform to mainstream opinions or softening statements, and his refusal to settle for mediocrity set him apart from many of his peers. Jeremy Paxman's approach to journalism exemplifies the Spartan mindset at its finest. Through his persistent questioning, intellectual rigor, and fearless attitude, he has set the standard for what it means to hold those in power accountable. His career is a reminder that standing firm in the pursuit of truth requires strength, resilience, and the willingness to confront those who seek to avoid responsibility. Paxman's interviews, like the battles of ancient Sparta, were not about seeking popularity or taking the easy route. They were about pursuing victory in the intellectual arena, and that victory was always for the truth. Order the Spartan mindset today and take the first step toward becoming the leader your world needs. Let your struggles forge you into a warrior of character and resolve. The Spartan mindset provides all this and more in an original, comprehensive, and actionable guide. Available now for just $19.99. Buy your copy from the links in the description box below and on this channel's homepage. Because your future begins with the right mindset, the Spartan mindset.